Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, winner the 2024 Best of the TriState. Our local celebrity from localnews1.org, as we do every Friday, keeping us up to date with the community calendar. Dan Dodona is going to go through not 5 things, but 6 things that are coming up this weekend.
6 things. It's such a big weekend. And we're leading with Ice Fest in Chambersburg, which is just huge. If you've never been there, you really need to go try this. In addition to ice sculptures, which is kind of the centerpiece of the whole thing, no pun intended, there's about 100 different regular-sized sculptures, smaller blocks of ice. Plus, there are 18 giant sculptures that are almost landscapes. They're just extraordinarily huge. There's going to be a chili cook-off. There's a wing-off. There's going to be a hot pepper eating contest. I'm not sure exactly why you would want to compete with that, but nonetheless,
I don't want to be a part of that.
It's there. There's going to be horse-drawn carriages for a small fee. There will be some ballet and dance and some artwork. Open night, or I should say an open mic night. And you can find there's entirely too much going on to be able to relay it here, so I'll just refer you to icefestpa.com.
And, of course, the big slide.
Yes, there are slides. There are ice slides. The kids just love that.
Yes.
They're about, what are that, about 30 yards long?
You might be about right with that number, but not just children. I took my nieces to Ice Fest last year.
Really?
And I think I screamed louder than both of the girls, and they were like 4 and 8, but you could hear me like at the other end of the Ice Fest. So I just had a great time with it.
So you probably made the highlight film.
There was a video I put on Facebook and it went viral.
Ooh.
Yes, that was fun.
Now back to the regular 5 things. This week at the Maryland Theater as a matter of fact, Friday, tonight at 7 p.m., there's going to be The Wild World of Animals featuring Grant Kemmerer, an expert in this sort of thing. It'll be at the Maryland Theater. We're in Hagerstown. You're going to be able to encounter creatures like a giant eagle owl, a legless lizard, and a 100-year-old alligator snapping turtle.
Cool.
It'll all be on stage. It should be a really good time. They didn't indicate there was any fee for that, so I guess you just show up and enjoy.
Cool.
History. The Waynesboro Historical Society, obviously in Hagerstown, that'll be tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be having a unique autograph show and tell event. This is where the people actually collect whole books of autographs. And so they're going to be showing that and exchanging stories with visitors at the historic Oler House, which, if you don't know, is a Queen Anne-style home located in Waynesboro. Very beautiful. That'll be at 138 West Main Street in Waynesboro. Also on Saturday at 5:30 p.m., the Boy Band Project. That is a band, not a social justice group.
That's like at the Capitol Theater, isn't it?
Yeah, that's happening. It's going to be for Galentine's Day at the Capitol Theater in Chambersburg. That'll be Saturday from starting at 5:30 p.m. They're going to feature, apparently they do music in different styles, like from NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Hanson, and One Direction. So there will also be local vendors, so it should be a good time.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
In Chambersburg, well, no, I take it back. In Waynesboro, the Crackers Event Center will be hosting Valentine's Sweet Market from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on also tomorrow, Saturday, February 1st. It's going to invite attendees to explore a variety of treasures and handcrafted gifts from local vendors. That'll be at 5857 Orphanage Road in Waynesboro. And the last of the 5, the Tuscarora Wildlife Education Project in Mercersburg is hosting an event called Dinosaur Day, which is going to feature a visit by a very famous dinosaur. But it'll also have a lot of fun atmosphere for family and children. That'll be located at 4773 Fort Loudon Road in Tuscarora.
They bringing a T-Rex in there?
They didn't say exactly, and we didn't get pictures. So I'm not sure we wanted to get close enough.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so those are the 5 things to do this weekend. Other things that we've been reporting. Under the category of Hagerstown under siege. I was not aware of this, but apparently back in July, there was there were 2 daylight shootings in Hagerstown with one death and second person injured. And Senator Quarterman of Maryland issued a statement charging the city with being crime-ridden, in crisis, and under siege. The council has apparently decided in January of this year to take up the subject of how exactly to respond to Senator Quarterman's charges. They don't actually believe that it's that bad. And frankly, you can find incidents like this in
anywhere
in most larger
sure.
cities. So it's not exactly clear why the senator made that charge, but nonetheless, the city and council have decided that they're going to work with the senator, but they'll need to cooperate. It'll probably come up in the legislative session for this year. In Greencastle, Patriot Federal Credit Union is expanding. They had a preparatory ceremony this past week at 200 North Antrim Way. That's by the Weiss grocery store. What they're planning on doing is tearing down the old Sunnyway and Rite Aid site, and they want to put in a new branch office. They're basically saying that they've got an awful lot of customers in Greencastle, and this new facility is going to replace a cash machine that they've got downtown. So it's quite an improvement.
I think we've had them on the show quite a few times, and the people that work there are so wonderful. The bank is wonderful. They do a great job. So I'm happy to see that they're getting a location closer to personally me.
Well, and Patriot has been they've been very aggressive. We've got a small variety of local banks, people who will loan money to businesses that are trying to start up. And Patriot has established themselves as being in the forefront of looking for opportunities to help people build and make their business and thrive.
Yeah, that's what we need.
In Hagerstown, the University System of Maryland at Hagerstown is collaborating with the University of Baltimore. They're going to bring an MBA program to Hagerstown, which is great. The University of Baltimore notes that Hagerstown is a great strategic location for business growth. And, of course, their anticipation is that if you're going to grow that much, you need leadership. So one of the things I learned while I was on active duty in the Air Force is it's frequently not money or talented engineers that slow down the creation of new capabilities. Even it's not the technology. The long pole in a tent is very frequently finding leadership that can actually command and operate the scale of operation that you're looking at. So leadership is really big. Even if you just simply drop back from leadership, you drop to skilled people in an area. If you plan on growing in Hagerstown or Chambersburg or Waynesboro or wherever, you need to make provisions for housing. You need to make provisions for education because it doesn't necessarily happen all by its own.
Yeah. I got my master's at USMH.
Okay.
I did.
In what?
At Frostburg. Elementary education.
Okay.
I had a wonderful experience. I was really impressed with the educators and the facility, and I think they do a wonderful job there.
How long did you teach?
9 years.
9 years?
I did, yeah. So I graduated from Frostburg Satellite Campus in downtown Hagerstown in 2014, and I taught until 2023.
At the risk of turning this into an interview of Katie, what got you into this business?
So I worked in radio prior to getting my master's. So I worked here at Verständig Media from 2009 to 2014.
Okay.
I co-hosted the morning show on our sister station, WAYZ, with Tiny.
Right.
And then I left to get my master's in Hagerstown. And then I love working with children. I love education. And I knew I would be pretty good at it. I thought it was like my forte. And so I did it for 9 years all over Virginia. I was in Loudoun County, Frederick County. And then I did my student teaching in Washington County. And after COVID, I didn't love it as much anymore. And
it got too hard.
My heart is in radio. My heart is here. But it was a great experience, and it was a great learning experience, too.
Well, anything that puts you in contact with a lot of people has got to be a good experience.
Yes.
We are running, I'm going to deviate from the current events. Because homelessness became a bit of a topic during December and early January, Local News 1 has decided to run a series of 3 articles on the subject of homelessness, the first of which deals with causes. As a general rule, local news doesn't do national kinds of news. So the only time you will see us writing about things like homelessness, which is a national issue, is to the extent that we can pinpoint this to, okay, how is it manifesting itself
in our community,
here in the local area, and what kind of steps are we locally taking to deal with this? We can take advantage of national programs to help out. But so anyway, this particular article is about the causes, economic, social, and policy that have to do with people getting into a homeless situation. I should preface this. I think I may have said this before, but there are an awful lot of people. Well, I should say a lot. There are people who like this kind of a life. I mean, back when I was a kid, they were called hobos. There was a song written about it, King of the Road, trailer for rent or something. Yeah.
I think we're seeing more, especially with the economy and inflation, people that are choosing to live out of an RV or out of their vehicles or something because it's expensive to rent and own. It's quite expensive.
Well, the economic side plays several ways. We try to make the point in the article that you shouldn't attach any particular stigma to a person who is in a homeless situation.
Of course.
It is, as a former financial advisor, I can tell you the easiest thing to cause you a family to go bankrupt is to have a severe illness in the family. And if you don't have the right kind of insurance or the right kind of support, it'll eat up every dime you've collected, no matter how much.
Already making a horrible situation just 10 times worse.
10 times worse. Yeah. And there's also simply losing your job because of a slowdown in the economy. There are potentially, if you didn't get the kind of support that you needed in high school or in college, if you have some developmental issues, then there's just a lot of reasons. So anyway, we're talking in this first episode about what are the causes? Why do people end up in this kind of a situation? And then we're going to follow that up with some solutions and how people can help with this sort of thing. Okay, moving on. In Harrisburg, again, not necessarily a local story, but it has local applicability. 142 students completed an accelerated special ed certification course. That's particularly important because nationwide,
teacher shortage is the problem,
and especially in all of the local areas, Hagerstown, Chamber, every place. This is one of the largest teaching needs is for special ed teachers. So the fact that there's 142 of them that are about to deploy around Pennsylvania, and hopefully there'll be similar programs in Maryland. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it's great. In
Franklin County. Continuing on the educational theme, applications for nursing scholarships involve $2,500 will be awarded to people who intend to participate in a 4-year nursing program. Those applications are available online. The link is in the article in Local News 1. But you should mark on your calendar, the due date is the 28th of March, so don't wait too long if you have an interest in that sort of thing.
They were giving away quite a few, aren't they? Of those
they are. They actually have substantially more than $2,500. It's not just one. It's quite a few. In the good news and bad news category, Maryland Symphony Orchestra. The bad news is that the Salute to Independence, which they have performed for the past 40-some-odd years, is being retired. It's a peculiar sort of situation. They apparently performed at Antietam Battlefield for many, many, many years. And then in recent times, there were some upgrades that were being performed out to the battlefield. So they moved temporarily to Hagerstown Community College, where they've been performing it. In that interval, a lot of the money that they were previously getting from government and other sources has also dried up. So as they look at going back to Antietam Battlefield, The logistics of it have gotten extremely tough because they've installed all kinds of security and crowd management capabilities. So as a result, they couldn't see a way to continue to make it happen. So they ended up having to retire it. They really didn't want to, but they didn't really have any particular choice. On the good side, they were awarded a $4,500 grant to continue providing music for seniors, for people who are challenged, others of that sort around the community. So it's not like they're giving up, but they do have to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm. How do we feel, Dan, about maybe one more headline? Is there one that's sticking out that might be a good way to end?
Well, there are several medical articles that I would suggest people go and read.
Sure.
Radon levels, big this time of year. It's a cheap test. You can get it almost anywhere. Pennsylvania, it's the geology. So Pennsylvania and Northern Maryland both have a propensity for generating radon levels. Quick notes, Maryland's got a $63 billion budget. They're going from a $2.95 billion shortfall to a $106 million surplus. Unfortunately, $2 billion of that shift is in unspecified enhancements. That usually means they told everybody in the government, take 1%, because we have to come up with 1% of enhancements. Let's see if there's anything else. There's a lot of sports, extraordinary number in basketball, wrestling, swimming, gymnastics, and running. A lot of the schools around here are doing very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Waynesboro's basketball team is doing particularly well. They're in second place right now. Chambersburg's Jed Ritchie is doing very well for Wheaton's college swim team. We have a periodic article that covers, where are they now? How did the high school students that you enjoyed during high school, where are they now and how are they doing? And the last thing I would mention is all the usual features are available. We have local history and sniff notes. There are some very nice pets that are offered by the Antietam Humane Society as well as CVAS. Take a look at those. Pets are nice to have around.
Yes,
they really are.
Yes, they are.
And that pretty much wraps it up.
Localnews1.org for all of the local news and everything that you would want to know about the Tri-State and what's going on in the community. Dan, we'll have you in again next Friday to go over more of the community calendar with us. And we'll be right back with Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Legends Bar in Chambersburg. You can satisfy your sports fix at Legends Bar with game day specials and cold brews. They are located on Hollywell Avenue in Chambersburg.
Let's talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.
I'm Nick Seco from Home Right Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Let's talk Tri-State.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State. Our favorite representative from Boost Mobile, we have Carlos here, who also has the softest and sweetest voice I've ever heard in my life. You guys have a grand reopening happening in Chambersburg this weekend. What can we expect for this?
So, as everyone knows in the area, it's Ice Fest. One of the best events for Chambersburg and Franklin County. And we are celebrating 12 years of Boost Mobile on Main Street. So 12 years ago, I opened up my store. I had one floor for showcase, one computer. And now we're at 21 locations and growing. And
amazing.
TriState.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.